Hi guys, how's it going? It's me Anubhuti. Welcome back to my channel. Well, I know it's been quite some time, but there has been something that recently happened, and I thought I should make a video about it and make it more insightful but also personal at the same time. So, for those of you who don't know, there was a massive earthquake that recently happened in Myanmar, and because of which the tremors traveled, and there was another earthquake that was experienced in Bangkok or in Thailand, which was around the magnitude of 7.7, which was quite bad. And well, I survived the earthquake. Let me just paint the picture for you. And this video, basically, it's a very impromptu video which I'm making, where I just want to share my thoughts, my experience, my story, and also want to let you guys know that what were my learnings from this whole experience and what are the things you should do when you are in a similar situations and what you need to take care of. So if this is something you want to know more about, stay tuned and keep watching the video till the end. It was Friday afternoon, and my husband and I were working from home. I was in the lobby, and we had just got off our lunch, and it was around 1:20 or 1:15 p.m. And suddenly I could feel that everything was shaking, like literally shaking. But for a split second, I thought I was feeling dizzy because something like this has happened when we were living in Dubai and there was a minor earthquake, and I felt the same, but it didn't really affect the building or things around. Anyways, so and thankfully my husband was in the same room, so he also experienced the same. And for a minute we both thought we both were kind of sick, and suddenly we hear things falling off on the roof. Like, for example, we are on the 12th floor, so we could hear things falling on top of our roof from the other flat. And we felt another tremor again, and it was that bad that we couldn't really stand straight. Suddenly we opened the let me just show you, just to give you an idea. This is the entry door of our condominium, and we kind of opened it, and as soon as we opened it, we see the walls cracking. Let me just give you an idea how serious this was. And we still have a lot more cracks in the buildings, in the rooms, in the roofs, everywhere. So yeah, let me just quickly show you. So these are something which we saw right in front of our eyes. So guys, yeah, just to give you an idea, now at least the building people or the management have been quite nice enough to kind of clean things around, because it was quite crazy since past 2 days. And yeah, so basically this all happened. We see these walls cracking. It was like straight out of the movie, and we both run. Okay. The silly part was I ran out without my slippers on. I did not have my phone. Everything we just left and we ran out. So we were running around in the hallway, and we see more cracks happening, and literally the PVC was kind of exploding in front of our eyes, and we could see a lot of cracks, and there are things falling around. We could hear people screaming. It was total panic because it was middle of the day and it was a working day. Thankfully, the whole building was not completely occupied. So still, I feel things were better in that scenario, because then more people, more panic, more chaos. That's what I think. Anyways, so we just ran towards one of the staircase. And the worst part was the moment we opened the staircase, we could see concrete falling down. And I was like, okay, we are doomed, because we can't get off. We can't take the stairs. The lifts were not working, and we're kind of panicking, running here and there on the same floor. Thankfully, there were a few more people. And we kind of just took a decision of taking another staircase, which was on the other side, but on the same floor. And all of us ran down. We ran down from the 12th floor. I don't know how much time did we take, but for me, the only thing I remember is that I was just focusing on making it to the ground floor. And all of us ran down immediately within minutes of experiencing this whole earthquake and the shocks and the tremors. All of us just ran down, and thankfully, the building was completely evacuated. I could see, like, once we were down, we were still in that state of shock and processing what happened. And I could see people around crying. There were people who had kids, so they were even more panicking, more in the state of shock. Thankfully, it wasn't as serious as it was in Myanmar, where the whole buildings collapsed and people died in like big numbers. I'm sure like the similar things happened in Thailand as well. A lot of buildings just collapsed, and most of them were under construction. So the people who were working on those buildings faced severe injuries, and also some of them died. So it was quite big. And the worst part was, because I did not have my phone, my parents, my loved ones, the family, everybody, friends, they kept calling me. They were worried from different parts of the world, but I couldn't do anything. We couldn't help it, because even my husband, he had his phone, but he just had 3%. So by the time we reached downstairs, his phone was switched off. There were only few people who had their phones down. And again, everybody was kind of trying to figure out what to do next. So anyways, we were stuck downstairs. We were just in the garden, sitting on the floor or walking around in the same area, waiting for things to come back to normal. And after, say, 4 or 5 hours, the management allowed us to go back to the building, but they just allowed us to get our belongings and again exit the building until and unless the building was checked by an engineer, and that safety process was cleared. Honestly, we were not prepared. Nobody was prepared for such a scenario. And thankfully, in those few hours while we were just sitting and processing about what happened, what really struck me was that when we ran down, what all came to my mind was, it was just pure survival. Not money, not my phone, not my app. I had not these materialistic things were not even in my top 2, top 3 priority. The most important thing was just to be down and reach down safely, and that's it. And that's how life should be, right? Because we keep, in our normal day-to-day life, we are engrossed in our meetings, working on our businesses, doing our to-do list and chasing targets, and we don't really realize by the end of the day what is really important is you and people around you who love you and care about you, and your own health. And all these materialistic pleasures and success and money and fame, these are so secondary, and they don't really mean a lot when you're focusing on what really matters. So yeah, this whole incident gave me a different perspective, because when you are in such a scenario, your brain starts thinking about the worst things that could have happened. And like normal human beings, all of us were just discussing the same situations downstairs, how people were reacting. So yeah, that happened. Thankfully, nobody got injured in the whole process of evacuation in our building, but it was a total chaos for the people who were working in different corporate buildings, because there were more people, so there were more floors, so it was more panic, more chaos. And then because there was a chaos, there were more people who got injured because of each other, and there was a bit of pushing and things like that. So it is a sad, but a very, I would say, it was a huge learning experience for me. I wouldn't want anybody to go through something like this ever. It's just been 2 days, but we're still processing it. And thankfully, all those messages, the calls and voice notes, which I've been getting even till today, I feel so thankful and so grateful to all of those people, because whether they are close friends or distant relatives, people really reached out and they made sure that we were okay. So I really appreciate for people who kind of saw the news and just randomly remembered we were in this part of the world and they wanted to check on us. I really appreciate those people, because you take out some time from your busy lives to check on someone else is also a very important thing, especially in these days. And thank you if you're watching this video. If you are one of those people, I love you and we really appreciate that. And now coming back to the mistakes I did while I was evacuating. So number one, I ran out without my footwear. So when you are in a situation, I know these are not the things that come to your mind, but try to be as calm as possible, because that is something that will really help you out when you're evacuating. And you should have your footwear. It could be your slippers, it could be your shoes. Shoes are more preferable. But again, when you are in such scenario, and I've been in one, I know how your brain works. You go all numb. The whole your brain is just focusing on survival. But try to get on your shoes, because while you're evacuating, anything bad could happen. You could even injure yourself even more, and that would also create a problem for you to evacuate the building or the area slower or faster, whatever. So that could just create a big problem for you to even get out of the building. So it's very important you have your footwear on. Number two, please try to have your phone on you, because if you are alone or with somebody, it doesn't matter, but at least if you have your phone which is charged, you will be able to reach out to your loved ones and make sure they are not panicking in some other part of the world. Also, you'll be able to call for help if you are stuck somewhere, because I ran out without my phone, and I realized if I were alone in the building and there were not many people, I would be really helpless. So that's number two. Number three, make an emergency kit for situations like these. I know it's sometimes you think, okay, what bad could happen, but you never know how the world is going and the kind of natural disasters are happening around you. It's very important that you have a small emergency kit with your, say, all the important valuables. It could be probably your passports, your ID cards, important ID cards, some money, some valuable things. It could be some jewelry. It doesn't need to be like you need to hoard everything in one bag, but something which will be important for you to in this situation while you're evacuating. I even packed like a fresh pair of shorts and t-shirt in case, because the thing was that when we went out of the building, we were not allowed to come back in until the inspection was done. And we kept waiting outside in the same state where we were in. So some people moved into a hotel in that scenario, but because we did not, neither of us have had our phones working, and I didn't have my phone either, we couldn't really do any kind of payments. So it's very important that in such scenario you prepare for the worst, that what if you're not coming back to your house for a long time. You need to have some basic things in that emergency kit, and especially money and passport is really, really important. What if you need to fly out like in emergency, then it'll really come handy, and keep it ready somewhere at the near the exit, near the door, because it's very easy while you're running out. There's no way that you're going to go back in the rooms and then look for this emergency kit and waste more time, because time is key when it comes to disasters and natural disasters like this. Number 4, we decided very late to take the next stairs and look for the next stairs. While in such panic and chaotic scenario, you just look for the nearest exit, nearest staircase, and don't think about whether to take it or not. Just take the decision very quickly, because for us, thankfully, things didn't get worse, and even if we did miss out on few minutes, anything could have happened in those few minutes. So, and immediately we decided that okay, let's take the other staircase, and we ran down. In such scenario, it's very important that you consider time is key and just reach out to your next exit and take it and run for your life. So yeah, these are my top 4 things which I feel you should do when you are in this scenario, and the things which I should have done while I was evacuating from the building. But yeah, all said and done, thankfully we are safe and sound. Some of our friends have suffered injuries, and I hope they recover soon. It was a tough time for all of us. People are still quite in shock, and many of the people from our building have already left the flats. They've gone to their own countries, or they've just gone to hotels, or they've just changed their flats completely and gone to low-rise buildings. So it's very understandable. People are still scared, because even if the cracks you see in the home, they are really crazy. Let me just show you. So that's our kitchen. That's the crack. It's all like it's everywhere. This is like all these cracks we saw in front of our eyes while we were running out. This is all that. Just like, I'm not showing you all because it will just scare you even more, but just to give you an idea how crazy this earthquake was. Look, this is all gone. So yeah, well, the conclusion is we are all safe. We need to be grateful. Every day is a gift for each and every one of us. And good part is the engineers have already inspected the building, and they have considered safe. It is safe to live in this building. That's why we are still here. Currently, we're still processing what all happened and how it all happened. But yeah, I was very sure that I wanted to make this video, not just to express and tell my story, but most importantly, what goes on in one's mind when something like this actually happens, because I remember I had studied all of this. I used to have a course called disaster management in school, where we were told about each and every natural disaster, and when you're stuck in the situation, what you need to do. So I know, as a student, I know what all needs to be done. But at the same time, when you're actually in the moment and experiencing all this, your brain just shuts out all that information, and how you react. It completely amazes me that even after knowing and studying all of that, I couldn't really use my brain during that time because it was so scary and my brain wasn't processing information. Anyways, the point is, learn from my mistakes and also try to apply, or just train your mind, keep exercising these things in your mind and tell your friends and family about it, to exercise it, because during these kind of emergency situations, it's very important how you kind of take the next step and decisions. What is important is that you learn from my mistakes, apply and exercise the learnings from my video, share it with your friends and family, and make sure that you exercise these small things so much that if ever you are in such a scenario, your brain knows what to do, and it becomes like a autopilot. It works on an autopilot, and you guys are safe. So yeah, that's it for now. Hope you found this video a little bit insightful. I don't know if it was boring for you, but I was just yapping and I wanted to share. So that's what I did. See you in a next fun video, because now what I've thought is that let's not wait to get the perfect shot, perfect light, perfect moment. You never know where will you be next day, next hour. So I plan to make more fun videos, new videos and new experiences and share it with you guys. So stay tuned, like and subscribe, and bye.